Hello, and welcome to Calico Flower Studio. I'm Danny, and today I'm going to make a simple collage, just a little one, and I'm going to use a technique that I've used in a lot of my collages. So this is totally something that you could do too if you wanted to. But in making this collage today, I wanted to think about how I can cultivate more grace in my life, because I feel like I've been needing it. So if you feel the same way, then maybe something will resonate with you here. And I invite you to just sit back and relax and enjoy the process. And if you've been enjoying the process with me on here, then please subscribe. It really helps to support the channel, and it means a lot to me. So, also leave a comment if you have any thoughts about the way I made this collage or your feelings about cultivating grace. I'd love to hear them. So, thank you again so much for being here, and enjoy.
So today, I know exactly what I plan on doing, loosely. And since I'm going to be working small, I'm just going to collect a bunch of small little pieces of tissue paper and collage material. Snip a little bit here, snip a little bit there. I wanted to do something that felt fun, and something that I could do with a sense of ease. This is my bin of little things, which are all the teeny tiniest little scraps that I collect from my practice after I trim down my collage materials. These are just like the crumbs, basically, which is nice because I don't really have to cut them down any more than this. I usually just leave them at the shape that they're in when I find them. And I love that. Just taking them as they are. So since I have a lot of pieces here, I'll show you each one and give each piece its little moment. So let me set everything up here. Well, isn't that a pretty picture? So something that I've been curious about in my collage practice is a kind of centering. So today, I know that I want to make a circular shape, and I want everything to kind of gravitate towards the center. The pieces in the middle will be thicker, and in the foreground, like the top layer of material, and the pieces around the edges, further away from the center, will be thin and in the background on the bottom layer. So to do this, I'm going to start on the outside and work my way in. Because if the outside is going to be the bottom layer, then that should be where I start. And as I move towards the center, the layers will stack and get thicker and thicker. It will be like a pulling together of material, with the center having the most weight and the most gravity. By the way, this is a strategy or mode of operation that I've used for many of my collages. And every time, they turn out a little bit different. I know that I'm drawn to this way of making for a reason. I just haven't been able to fully articulate it yet. But I will, one of these days. And you can give this a try too, and let me know how it makes you feel. You could totally do this too. So, anyway, cultivating grace. What is grace? I feel like it has so many different meanings, and it's used in so many different contexts within our culture. Like, how many definitions does this word have? It can be used to mean elegance or beauty, or it could mean goodwill. It's also a verb, to grace something. A lot of things that come to mind are actually religious, like amazing grace. Okay. By the grace of God, or saying grace, right? And when you mess up, you can handle it gracefully. You can do things gracefully. You can move, you can dance, you can even fall gracefully. I find it interesting when this adjective, graceful, is used to describe something that you wouldn't think of as being beautiful or graceful. In fact, maybe it's something that's tragic. It's like, when I think of all these things that I just mentioned, showing grace, it's just like showing mercy or generosity, elegance, beauty, all these things. I just feel like there's some level of strain that comes with grace, or as and the other side of the spectrum. Grace is like a balancing force. Almost like, it's like a touch of tenderness towards pain. That's the way I think about it. And that certainly can be elegant and beautiful. So, what does it mean to cultivate grace in one's creative practice or in one's life? The first thing that comes to mind is showing myself grace. If I can grant that to myself, I can grant it to others, right? And I feel like in a graceful act, there's a balance of intention and surrender. And there's a sense of ease and of not forcing. I guess that's what I mean by surrender. A sense of ease and not forcing. I don't know what the antonym to forcing is. Not forcing. Anyway, so today I wanted to ease myself into my practice because I'm not going to lie. Lately, I have been working really hard and not gracefully. There was a time when making art felt much easier. Maybe not easier. I mean, it was still a lot of work. But I could do it with a sense of ease and grace, if that makes sense. But I was way more in practice, you know. I was practicing much more often. Like a ballet dancer, you know, I knew how to move through it with control and strength. And softness, even. Like this balance of intent and surrender. But lately, I have been out of practice, so it's felt a little bit more difficult. And I realize that I need to channel a sense of grace towards myself, tenderness towards pain. And in time, building strength to have a sense of ease and a balance of strength and flexibility and intent and surrender. Oh my goodness gracious. Speaking of grace, look who has graced us with her presence. I put this tissue paper down in hopes that she would sit on it and hang out with us. But she's more interested in the window right now. Hello, my little love. You are so sweet. Well, I am almost out of collage pieces. This is amazing. I can't believe I'm going to use them all. This rarely happens. Oh, excuse me. Dahlia just knocked one of the pieces on the floor. And I can't find it. But it's okay. I wasn't crazy about that piece anyway.
Oh, hey. I actually do want that one.
Ooh, I actually think I like the other side of this piece better. So, another thing that I was thinking about was, how can a tree or a flower be graceful? You know, what can I learn from nature about grace? I'm sure there are so many things, but what came to mind was how a tree grows with great intention towards the sun. It is well intentioned towards the sun, yet it allows the wind to blow through its branches, and it is bent with the rainfall. And even when it looks kind of awkward, reaching towards the sun, maybe a tree limb goes out in a way that seems surprising and interesting, it's still graceful and beautiful. And you know how this tree cultivates grace? Strength. It builds strength over time time and intention and surrender. Not forcing, right? Oh, this piece makes me so happy. It feels good. Fun and energetic, but strangely organized. What do you think? Would you try this mode of making? And how do you cultivate grace in your life? Share with me in the comments below. And please subscribe. If you enjoyed hanging out with me on here, then subscribing is the best way to support my work. So, thank you so much for being here, and have a beautiful day.